Assassin's Creed Shadows delayed again. I don't think I've ever seen a game get delayed more times than this. This time, Ubisoft's excuse is that they want to polish up certain aspects of the game before launch. Uh, as you guys know, they recently dropped a few demo clips of Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay. It looked really good, like graphics-wise. The gameplay looked really well thought out, and the movement looked so fluid that it got fans pretty excited about the game releasing in February of 2025, except now it isn't launching in February. It's been pushed back to March of 2025 now. I truly believe that Ubisoft is honestly, like, scared. They showed us things, like, to be excited for in the game, but obviously with any big game company, you're gonna hide the broken and bad aspects of the game. So, I mean, there's probably stuff that they got behind the scenes that isn't completely flushed out yet, that we don't know about. At this point, Ubisoft's whole ship is on fire, though, and it's sinking right now, with awful releases like Skull and Bones, the first ever quadruple A title game, and it did awful. Or how about one of my favorites that I was excited for, Star Wars Outlaws, the first Ubisoft attempt at a Star Wars IP, which ended in utter catastrophe. Or the game that died so quickly a lot of people don't even realize it was even a game, Avatar: The Frontiers of Pandora, which everyone's like, oh, the graphics are good. Yeah, the graphics are good, the game's broken. It got mid-reviews everywhere. Oh, and how can we forget the doomed from the start shooter that was free to play, X-Defiant, which is shutting down after Season 3. And you can see from X-Defiant Season 3 that they're trying to push Assassin's Creed in the final season with the Brotherhood faction to boost sales for Assassin's Creed Shadows before the game, you know, like, fails. Oh my god, it's just... Ubisoft is like so scared to fail this time with Assassin's Creed because they know that if they want to somehow maintain any kind of like ownership of their company right now, they're gonna have to like make sure this game is a success right now. That's why they've released more demos that you've seen for most games that you've ever seen. Like there's been more gameplay leaked and released of this game right here from the official sources, just so they can kind of like gauge where players' interest is at, where they need to like fix it at. They pretty much trying to like soft launch the game right now without it actually being out. That's why it keeps getting delayed so much. And we're not going to get into the politics of this right here specifically, but I'm sure that you guys have seen in the past week right here a lot of news agencies reporting the fact that Tencent, which is the company, you know, responsible for League of Legends, PUBG Mobile, COD Mobile, and they even own a small part of Fortnite too, which I actually didn't know. So Tencent's everywhere right now. Anyways, there was a report that came out recently, regardless of what news source you used to look at it, that said that Tencent was actually a Chinese spy/military group that was in the United States and trying to, I guess, infiltrate like places like Ubisoft and get more involved in U.S. companies. Regardless if you believe that or not, and you know, if you wherever you read the sources at for that, you know, that's your own beliefs. But apparently, there's a lot of controversy surrounding Tencent as a company right now, and that could slow down the process or maybe even make Ubisoft rethink their merger with Tencent. If you guys like Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, Grand Theft Auto 6 news, and more across the gaming industry, hit the subscribe button down below. We're working towards our goal of 500 now. Thank you guys for helping us get to 400 recently. Once we get to 500, we'll be doing monthly giveaways, so I'm really excited about that. Thank you guys so much, and let's get right back to the video. Originally, Assassin's Creed Shadows was going to release back in November of 2024, but, you know, and this would have allowed them to take advantage of the momentum of the Christmas campaign to potentially achieve better sales, but, you know, Assassin's Creed Shadows was embroiled in multiple controversies, which made the community look at it with suspicion. I mean, you had the whole Black Samurai controversy, and then you also had the controversy that the Ghost of Yotai also caused and everything, so, yeah. And it forced Assassin's Creed to delay their game. Ubisoft will never specifically say that or answer that truthfully, but the announcement and launch of that game is the reason that their game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is also set in Japan, is delayed. It got delayed up until February the 14th of 2025, which honestly gave players a, you know, longer term and chance to pre-order it if they wanted to pre-order it, you know, save up the money for that. I don't recommend nor not recommend pre-ordering. If you think the game is worth pre-ordering, then by all means pre-order it. And let me know down in the comments if you did pre-order it, by the way. I'm interested to see how many people has pre-ordered this game and gave Ubisoft a final chance. The game is now being pushed back to release, hopefully on March 20th of 2025. So it's almost been pushed back for a whole half a year now. Like, this is looking really bad. Hopefully we don't encounter any more delays between now and March. I mean, and it's towards the end of March too, so almost the beginning of April right there. So I mean, between now and then, that's actually a little bit longer than you think, and there could be a lot of stuff happen between now and then. The Ubisoft merger looks like it's going to happen more and more every day. Even if it's not Tencent, it looks like Ubisoft's not going to be able to hold on because they don't have enough money. It looks like they're not going to be able to hold on for anything else. That, like, for like an example of that is if they were going to develop a new game right now, they don't have the budget to even start a new game right now. Like, if they tried to develop the Division 3 or something, there's no way, unless they already got it started, that they have money to even do something like that right now. Like, they're in panic mode right now. Yeah, and reading this report right here, apparently there's another Ubisoft game that came out and flopped that I didn't even know about releasing at all, called Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I'll put an image on the screen right there for that. Apparently that's another game that came out recently that flopped, and I didn't even hear about this game. I didn't see any trailer for it. Like, this is just wild. Ubisoft is in a crazy spot right now. And the reason that I'm willing to give them a chance sometimes is because they have so many of our childhood memories with them, because they used to be the king of so many different genres. And you gotta admit that there wouldn't be any other Assassin's Creed, you know, style games without Assassin's Creed, because, like, you know, they redefined the genre whenever this game launched a long time ago, back in the early 2000s when they launched the first one. God, I don't even know when the first one launched. It's been so long. But they redefined the whole Assassin's genre of gaming and stuff and dominated it for a long time. They made legendary characters like Altair in Assassin's Creed, and then you had the crazy guy from Far Cry 3, you know, the villain or whatever, that, like, his face is on everything. He's known everywhere. Like, they had so many iconic games and moments that I try and remember where Ubisoft came from. But honestly, I think that old Ubisoft is dead. I don't think that this is the same Ubisoft that we all love and remember at this point right now. I think that it's just money grabbers. I feel like the people that used to own Ubisoft still own it, but they're just taking a step back and letting whatever slop come out. But what they don't realize is, like, their reputation's ruined at this point. Like, it's pretty bad at this point. Right here, their final message to fans was the fact that they pushed it back to March 20th right here because they've been hearing our feedback for the past few weeks about Assassin's Creed Shadows from the demos and the trailers, and they said that they want to work very hard right here to address any of the concerns or any of the negativities that they've been seeing fans discuss for a good and crisp day one launch. So I'm really happy that they're trying to focus on the day one launch right here. They're not talking about DLC or additional game content until they actually focus on getting, you know, the launch out of the window on day one and actually having a good launch, though. Hopefully there's no bugs, and hopefully, honestly, it's the smoothest game that we've seen Ubisoft release in years. I think that they're in panic mode, so I really think that this might be one of the smoothest launches that we've seen from a Ubisoft title game in years. And to be honest, I'm excited for the game. I pre-ordered the game too, just the regular edition, and we will definitely be covering it here on this channel when it releases, so make sure you go and hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me today's video. Thank you for 400 subscribers. Let's make sure we hit 500 so we can start doing monthly giveaways soon. I'm very excited about that. This is Cypher, and I'll see you in the next video.